up, guys? We're here again at HardRacing. Today we are working on our Grom project bike, and we will be installing the Kitaco H-D Starter. This is their upgraded heavy-duty starter for more cranking power, basically, more torque. A lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, why do I need a new starter? Honestly, if you have a bone stock bike, you don't need a new starter. There's nothing wrong with the stock one. It works just fine. And obviously up until this point, for all you guys with big bore kits, you've been using the stock starter as well, and it works. It's not the best. We all have gotten to that point where you hit the starter button and it goes, and then you wait a second and you hit it again and it finally turns it over. Small solution to this is getting the anti-gravity or another similar type lithium battery for a little bit more cold cranking amps. That does help. At the end of the day, the limiting factor is the starter. How much torque does it put on the flywheel to turn the motor over? The bigger the bore kit, the more compression, the harder it is to turn it over. And now we have a solution. And the best part about it is it's literally about a 5-minute install. 2 bolts on the side, 1 bolt on the top, super easy to swap out. And we'll show you how quick and easy it is to do that. And real quick while you're here, go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the little bell right next to it. That way you get notified when we make new videos. And at the end of the video, if you like it, enjoy it, please give a thumbs up, drop a comment, let us know what you think, any other videos you want us to do. But for now, we'll show you how quick and easy it is to install this thing. One quick note also on this starter, it is highly recommended to have a either new battery or a good quality battery that can give it enough cranking amps. Basically, this starter is going to draw more amperage, and if you have an old crappy battery that you've had for a couple years now, you need to switch it out, because that starter is probably going to eventually crap out your battery faster than it normally would. Normal stock garbage batteries that come on the Grom last about 2 years on normal usage, sometimes longer, sometimes less. I've seen guys smoke them after a year. A lot of that comes down to how much accessories you have on your bike, how long you leave it on, all that good stuff, and how much you start and stop. So just take that into consideration. If you're getting this and you've never replaced your battery and it's 3 or 4 years old, you should also get a new battery. You don't have to if you want to try it and see what happens, but again, the manufacturer of this starter is recommending that you use it only in conjunction with a good battery, either a good brand new one for stock, like the Yuasa that came with it, or a upgraded lithium. So basically, if your bike's brand new off the showroom, or if it's only 6 months old, you should be fine. But if your bike's 3 or 4 years old and the battery's original, you probably should switch that out. So just take that in consideration. Alright, so first step you want to do is push this little rubber boot that's on top of the starter motor, push it up and over the nut. It's really, takes 2 fingers, just kind of wedge it up there. And once you get the boot off, you'll expose the little nut on there, a little 10mm wrench. And just unscrew the top one only. Alright, next, 10mm socket to remove this bolt here and that bolt there. Alright, now you're going to come around to the other side and you're going to smash your starter with a hammer. Just kidding. Just grab a stick like this or something soft, no metal, don't use a crowbar or anything like that. But you can also use like if you have a soft handled hammer, a wooden hammer, put it on there this way. But all you're trying to do is just tap it loose and kind of work around the edges of it. And do this slowly, you're not trying to smash it off with one hit. And you'll see it's already started to come off, and now it's loose. Don't smash it and have the thing go launch out the other side. Don't want to crack the edge of your engine case. You don't want to damage anything. Once you see it's loose, basically the O-ring's holding it in there. Once that's loose, you can go on the other side and just pull it out. So do not just smash the crap out of it. It doesn't take much effort. Just take it easy on it. Alright, so once it's loose, it comes right out. And that's it. So the only thing holding it in there really was that O-ring. And weighed the stock one versus the new one, and this is actually 4 ounces heavier. This is about 1.9. This is about 2.2 pounds. So it's 4 ounces more, and to me, the only thing that probably makes up the extra 4 ounces is extra winding and larger internals, which are basically going to create more torque. So it's the same size casing and everything, but 4 ounces heavier. As much as it would be nice if they would give us all the torque specs on these things, it's probably most likely got a lot more copper wound into it, so that's a good thing. Alright, next step, take some clean motor oil and put it on this O-ring. You want that to slide in there nice and good, so make sure you lube that up with some oil. And when you're sliding this in there, remember there's teeth here and there's teeth on your gear inside there. Don't just shove it in there, and if the teeth aren't aligned, you're going to break a tooth off. So this isn't rocket scientist, but just make sure that when you slide this in there, those teeth are aligned. If it's not going in there, don't jam it in there until you break something. It's not that hard, but just make sure that the teeth are aligned on the 2 splines as you slide it in there. Make sure that is obviously facing up, and there is, you may not have noticed it when you pull those 2 bolts off the side, one of them is a grounding wire, so make sure that gets put back onto your bolt when you screw that back in there. And watch your fingers on the tabs where the bolts go through. I just pinched my finger in there, so as you're pushing that in there, again, all your force, your only force you're overcoming is that O-ring. So if there's any resistance other than that O-ring, that means your teeth aren't aligned up. But if you just jiggle it back a little bit, you should find the teeth align up, pops right in, super easy. And just align your holes. Make sure that, again, this tab here, the eyelet is on that bolt. And then put the bolt in the hole and basically tighten those back up. And those go to 10 to 12 Newton meters. And 10 to 12 Newton meters converts to about 7 to 8 foot-pounds. So again, that is not very much. And obviously when you tighten these down, just like everything else, tighten them evenly. Don't crank one down all the way to the other one. Get them both snug so that way you know your starter is nice and square with the motor. Then cinch each one down a little bit more. 7, 8 foot-pounds again is not very tight. If you don't have a torque wrench, it's not very tight. So if you snap one of these off, that means you probably went to like twice as much. So be smart and just do it just enough that they're nice and snug, and that's it. And last step, connect that wire back up on top. And the top one is 7 Newton meters, which is about 3 or 4 foot-pounds. Again, not very much. This is definitely one you don't want to strip out or you'll ruin that whole starter. Alright, and last step, put that boot back on top of the nut. And that's it. And you're good to go. Let's fire it up. Bam! First try. So for you that are not familiar with this motor, just so you can understand how much of an improvement this was, this thing's 183, high compression, high performance camshaft, no decomp on it. I mean, it's definitely going to be right up there with about as much compression and torque as you're going to require out of a starter, and it fired it up, bam, no problem. way better than the stock one. Very pleasantly surprised. This was the first one we tried out, so this was we were in the same boat you were to see if this thing was actually worth it or not. But it is hands down a lot more torque and a lot more cranking than the stock one. So for us, definitely big props to Kitaco for doing this finally. It's taken a while, but our HardRacing has not gone unheard. They finally came out with it, and we couldn't be happier. So again, if you have a high compression motor, if you have a big bore kit, this is definitely something you're going to probably want to get. Makes life easier. Just to reiterate what we said in the beginning, this is going to suck more amperage when you're using it, so you do want to have a relatively new, good quality battery, stock one, or an aftermarket lithium, so that it can give enough juice to that high torque starter and not have any issues. So hopefully you enjoyed our video. Please give a thumbs up and click that subscribe button and the little bell next to it. That way you get notified when we have more videos. Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you about this, anything else, any questions, whatever. Leave a comment, good, bad, we don't care. And of course, if you have any need anything else with other products, check out our website, HardRacing.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much forums everywhere. And just let us know what we can help you out with. We'll get you taken care of. HardRacing.com.